All right, so I'm just going to show off this death animation I made for the slime. So now we have the walk animation, the turning around animation when it hits a wall, and now we have this death animation as well. I'm really proud of this death animation. I consider it one of the most, maybe not one of the most important, but it's a pretty important animation because many slimes will share this animation. Like I mentioned before, there'll be different types of slimes. Each slime will be a different color, but they'll all have the same death animation, and there'll be other animations they probably share. I may actually modify it a bit so that if a slime's on a wall and it dies, I might make some minor modifications. Like for example, right here, this like little piece jumps in the air and comes back down. If it were on a wall, that wouldn't really make sense. So I may have them share most of it, and then sometimes like little pieces are a little bit different if it's on a wall or maybe even if it's on a ceiling. But for the most part, like this part here, they're definitely going to share. And this is the coolest part too, which is nice. Yeah, this is just like a huge amount of work. This game is going to have a lot of like 2D effects like this. So I'll get better and better at it, and I'll be able to do it faster, but I haven't animated something like this in a very long time. So doing this like after like however many years, like 7 years since the last time I did something like this, it was pretty tricky. But yeah, I was like very happy with the result. So anyway, that's about that. And then I'll show you what it looks like in the actual game. Just as a side note, you may notice the game like lags a bit sometimes. I'm gonna fix that. There's some major stuff I have to change that will reduce lag. But for now, like the main reason it's lagging is because there's 117 frames, and this is actually turned into a sprite sheet. So I have to like, there's something different I have to do with the sprite sheets so that they're more efficient. But I won't get too much into that. So you can see they're walking around. Right now I don't have any like punching or kicking, so the only way I can attack them is by jumping on them. So I think it looks decent. Like ideally there'd be more of a transition. I'll just refresh so I can show you again. You know, sometimes the mass is on the left side, and then you jump on it, and then the mass like teleports to the right side, like there, or maybe like, you know, sometimes it looks a little bit weird, which I'm not crazy about, but I think it's still good enough because there's not really any realistically, you know, it's kind of hard to have a transition there because I really don't know which frame it's going to start on. You know, it could be starting with like most of the masses on the left. It could be starting where most of the mass is on the right. So that's why I kind of squashed it to the ground a bit at the start. I think that's like a pseudo transition. It like kind of helps a bit. And like some of the masses on the right and then some of the masses on the left, like here-ish. So I thought that would kind of pseudo transition it. But in the end, the missing transition annoys me a bit. But all in all, the animation is sleek enough that I think it's still good enough to use in the actual game. Like there, you know, the transition was non-existent, but at least the animation's cool enough that it kind of makes up for it. Yeah, there's a few things I'm going to change about the slime. Like, actually, I'll just refresh to show you. The walk animation is the real animation in the actual game. The turn one is, and the death one is. So I'm not going to change the actual animations. But for example, when they overlap, like the opacity gets darker. I'm going to fix that so that even if they're overlapping, the opacity will like come together kind of. And then also right now they're walking all on the same frame, or they kind of are. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, like these two are walking on the same frame. I'm going to randomize the frame that they walk on. But apart from that, this is pretty much what it's going to look like in the actual game. That looked kind of weird when I jumped on two of them at the same time, but whatever. You know, at the end of the day, I can't just like, I have to make progress. So even though this isn't perfect, it has to, perfection can't be the standard that I'm going for. Like the best that I can do can't be the standard I'm going for, because then it would take too long. At a certain point, I have to say like, okay, this is good enough. Yeah, and then also the dead bodies are gonna just lie there. I think I'm just gonna leave the dead bodies scattered around for all the enemies you kill in the game. I think that makes it kind of cool. So yeah, I think when the slime like is smaller when it dies and it's no longer moving, now it should be obvious to the player that the slime is now dead and it's no longer a threat to me. So yeah, anyway, so that's the death animation. All in all, very happy with it, especially this part. Yeah, it was so much work. I think it looked, even though like when you obey the laws of physics, it's a lot more kind of straightforward what you're gonna do, whereas this is disobeying the laws of physics in many ways, but yet it still has kind of like a realistic feel to it to some degree. These frames here are quite difficult to draw. I like when it rebounds right here, that also looks quite nice. This part looks the nicest, but when it rebounds, that's also kind of cool. And then this second half, I was gonna maybe just ditch it and redo it, mainly because I didn't want the animation to be 4 seconds long. But I think all in all, I guess it's good enough. I do like at the end how it splits apart in the middle. So it gives you like a little bit more variety. Yeah, I'll just show the whole thing one more time. So yeah, that's the slime, death of the slime. So at least now I'm starting to make some real progress. You know, I'm starting to get some new stuff in. Yeah, but anyway, actually I'll just show you a couple small things. This is what the slime looks like without, just for fun. Like if this has the main layer and the shine layer. This is what it looks like with just the shine. It kind of looks cool. It's like a whirlwind happening like right here. It looks kind of cool. Yeah, I guess I'll also show you what it would look like if the slime was a different color. So, I'll pick a color in Flash. Let's say this color. Yeah, I guess that's good. Well, maybe that's too. I'll try this color here. Okay, that's kind of hard to see. I'll show one more because this one's kind of hard to see. Yeah, I guess it's decent. It's not like perfect, like I'm perfectly happy with it, but it's good enough. As I do more and more animations, I'll also get better at it. But yeah, this will be good practice for the hair. Because this hair, even though it kind of looks like it's not a rough draft, this is still a rough draft on the hair. The hair is the most important animation in the game, so the slime is giving me practice for the hair at least. I'll show one more color. Let's try pink. Gee, it's too bright. Yeah, so I'm still struggling a bit to get hours in. I get like little pieces of, oh, it's too hard to see. Okay. Gotta be able to get better at picking colors that are easy to see. Hopefully that'll be easy to see. Okay, let's try this. But yeah, I've been kind of annoyed with myself that I'm not getting enough hours in, but at least I'm getting a little bit better at it. I want to get to the point where I'm actually on pace to finish the game in a reasonable time frame. Right now, I'm just nowhere near on pace, and it's kind of frustrating, but I'll get there eventually. So anyway, that's the slime. I guess there's not much else to say, but I'm not really sure what I'm doing next. I actually may do some work that I'm not gonna be able to show in the video, like some performance upgrades. But anyway, I guess it'll be a surprise what's in the next video. But yeah, anyway, thanks for checking me out, and I'll be back again sometime, a week or two.